What's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. And the last episode 8 is here. And with this episode, it was really so good. We got Troy Baker who voiced Joel in the Last of Us games. And especially with this episode that had some really intense and emotional moments, especially with moments when Ellie not at the park, especially with her performance in this episode, especially the entirety of the show, and well, this episode sets up the finale, especially for what we expect as well. So in this video, this will be a full spoiler review for the last episode 8, and going over everything that you may have missed, and also to talk about the ending and give you guys my predictions about what we can expect from the last finale as we're nearing towards the end of the season as well. But if you heard a dose of this, be sure to subscribe to HBO. So it's visit this video. So let's get into it. And so with this episode, we open on some survivors whose names are David and James, and especially with James as being played by Troy Baker, who voiced Joel from the Last of Us games. And from what we see here is that, like the thing that they went through is especially with surviving in this post-apocalyptic world. And especially Ellie trying to keep Joel alive because he's been stabbed and like trying to stay away, but he is still asleep. With Ellie doing everything that she can to keep him alive. And now, especially as survivors are being introduced to Ellie, and the way that they are being introduced to her is that we see Ellie going hunting, and even with mainly survivors. And then what they reveal is that back in the village they have medicine for infections, which Ellie needs to keep Joel alive. Then we see David and Ellie interacting. What was revealed of what David says is that well, the scavengers and that went hunting, but only 3 of them came back. And also revealed what is the father that had a girl like just like Ellie, and with that father he was murdered by a crazy man, and that was talking with a little girl. Of course, was referring to Joel and Ellie. So that means with David and James that like they found out everything that happened because they were survivors. And then also Ellie putting in a medicine in the Joel to help him stay alive, and with a bottle of a syringe, and like that way that he gonna stay alive as well. And then we see David and James and their entire group of men going down to hunt Joel and Ellie. And then as we can see Ellie as she is on a road over our horse and trying to defeat other group of armed men as well. And then it suddenly ends with James hunting at Ellie by shooting her, and then eventually ending up in the cage. And plus, I think one of the best moments in this episode is when Ellie telling Joel about how she like gave him the knife while he was asleep, and like she was telling Joel about if like one man ever came in and died her, like he would go and kill them right away. And that's what we see him do, is that we see someone come to die her about to kill Joel, and then like we see Joel alive and just like killing them right away, and that's how we can tell Joel is indeed alive. Next we see Ellie wake up in a cage with David that starts to interrogate her, and even officer to stay with him in his larger grouping, and even as a survivor, and tells Ellie if she's alone. Ellie say that she is not alone, obviously referring to Joel, and this is because of Joel. Obviously that became a father figure for her, and even with David, and as it says, like if she cannot trust him, like he says that she is alone, and it's especially with this becoming very emotional with Ellie taking a hostage by the survivors. and especially Joel just being and killing the heck out of these men, and ask them what are keeping Ellie hostage and interrogating her, and then when the men named Timothy, he reveals and then that it's at a Silver Lake, but it's out of town. It's a resort. Obviously, this is what we saw earlier in the episode as well, and then it ends with Joel just like killing all the men as well. And then as we can see, as David keeps interrogating Ellie about how she has a violent heart, and then that's referring to what she's been doing the entirety of the show, and then he reveals about cordyceps, and now especially when term about cordyceps, it's a real family of a fungus species which is used to make herbal medicine. And now with the ending to this episode, we see Ellie getting in like a big final battle with David, and then we see James like getting killed, and now especially with Ellie trying to escape the restaurant and trying to stay alive, and then with David goes hunting and looking for her, and then she's all the ways, and now like she can kill him, especially with a burn log setting out the restaurant on fire, and that's what we see here like in the shot. I think that's what everyone obsessed over, and then it ends with Ellie just like killing other guy like really hard, especially with like killing him with a knife like many times, and like especially with Ellie trying to stay alive. And then we got this heavy emotional final scene is with Joel and Ellie reuniting, and with Joel calling Ellie a little girl, and with Joel as Ellie will become a father figure to Ellie, and even like the setting up the finale as well, and even for what my predictions of what we're gonna see in the finale is with of course Joel and Ellie fighting the fungi and curing the infected. And now, with this episode of The Last of Us, I really enjoyed it, especially as Ellie really knocked out of the park with her performances, especially with Bella Ramsey as Ellie, and even though with Joel as alive, even with Ellie, I try to keep Joel alive, especially with the message, and even with the survivors who of course are now dead, and even with this heavy and emotional reunion between them, I think that I totally got us in tears as well. And even though that this episode when they showed it was always setting up something big for the finale as well. So yeah, I can't wait to see throughout the season of The Last of Us coming to an end as well. So as for this video, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on The Last of Us episode 8? You can give me a rating between 1 out of 10. Make you give this video a like and subscribe to turn on notifications about future videos, and live updates with me on Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.